Hi guys, Vipin here. Now, many of my students have been asking me the difference between rights issues, private placements, uh, initial public offers, then follow on public offers, and the like. But I wanted to focus specifically on rights issues because they are kind of a privileged thing. So, let me tell you what rights issues are, and I'll give you the details on how rights issues work and how do companies actually play around with this. Now, before we understand rights issues, let's look at the other jargons that I mentioned a minute back. One of them being private placements. Now, private placements is something wherein you don't go about selling shares to the public. You sell it to under 50 people. That is no greater than 50, 50 maximum. You could say about half the size of a classroom. That's all that you're going to sell the shares to. Now, what happens in private placements is the people whom you choose to sell your shares, these people buy a large quantity of these shares. So, what happens here is the number of people are less, but how much money you're getting per person is actually more. Now, private placements is something which is not so common in India because not many people are ready to take the risk of investing a huge amount of money in one new company. Like they say, that cliched statement, don't put all your eggs in one basket. So, private placements are not always a very popular thing. And then initial public offers, again, off late, this hasn't been very popular in India. That's probably because the economy itself is not doing so great. I mean, you can just Google the economic indicators for manufacturing industry, and you can see how bad that is right now. So IPOs in India, initial public offer, not doing so well. That's when a new company decides to sell shares to the public. That is the entire billion. Okay, the entire country, in fact, is eligible to buy these shares. Then FPOs are follow-on public offers. Now, let's say all the money that you've collected from the initial public offer has been utilized and the capital has been exhausted. That is, you are getting more projects, you're getting more business, but the initial capital that you have, which you got from the establishment of your business, that is inadequate to support a new business. So what happens is you go about asking the public for additional round of financing. That's what they refer to as a follow-on public offer. Now I've given you a screenshot there. That is the Shipping Corporation of India, the largest shipping company in India. Now, they wanted to do a follow on public offer. They wanted to sell about 82.7 million shares. 1 million is equal to about 10 lakhs. So you can see how many shares they wanted to sell. The face value of every share is rupees 10. The price band is 135 to 140. Now, how does price band work? That's something that is related to book building. I will tell you in detail about what book building is in another video. And then opening date, of course, the 30th of November, and closing date is the 3rd of December. Now, here's the interesting part. Whenever you try to sell shares in India, uh, when the economy is good, of course, the shares are usually oversubscribed. That is, you wanted to sell, say, 82.7 million, but people are ready to pay a lot more in order to acquire these shares. It ends up getting oversubscribed. Then you have bonus issues. Now, bonus issues is something like a form of dividend. Now, in some cases, a company may not be able to give cash to their shareholders when the results are out, that is, the financial results are out. So, rather than going about giving cash, they might choose to go about giving bonus shares. That is, free shares are given off to the public, the shareholders rather. Now, let me tell you what rights issues are in detail. Now, when I say detail, please don't be under the impression that I will bore you with a lot of information. I try to make it as simple as possible and yet keep the details intact. Now, rights issues are meant for existing shareholders. Okay, they're meant for existing shareholders. Now, existing shareholders are in a case wherein the company will say you should have, say, 20 of the company shares, and you can buy an additional 5 shares. at a lower price than what the market actually stipulates. Now, let's say, for example, Hero Motor Corporation, they decides to go about doing a rights issue. Now, let's say the price of Hero Motor share is 1,000 rupees, the current market price at Bombay Stock Exchange. Now, what they tell the shareholders are, if you have 20 shares of Hero Motors, you can buy another 5 shares of Hero Motors at just say 300 rupees. Now, this is a big advantage because although the market is currently trading at 1,000 rupees, you get to buy these shares at just 300 rupees. But there is a condition. You must have about 20 shares of Hero Motors. Now, I'm giving a very low number here because that's an easier way to understand, but that's how rights issues work. You should have a particular number of shares, and you can buy some more shares at a price which is lower than the market price. Now, they do this because they want to gain something called as bridge financing. Now, bridge financing is neither for short term nor for long term, it's something for the medium term. So, for fairly in between, let's say for about 3 years, you have a critical project at hand and you need to make a significant amount of investment. Now, for that, you would go about doing something like this. Okay. Now, there's an example here of Indian hotels. They have gone about issuing the rights issue for compulsorily convertible debentures. Now, compulsorily convertible debentures are a type of debentures wherein for a certain period of time they are debentures, but later on you can convert them into equity. So compulsorily you have to convert them to equity. Now the company plans to raise 1,000 crores through this issue. Now, what will happen is the current holders of debentures, or let's say the current holders of shares in Indian hotels, they get to buy these debentures at a price which is lower than what the market price actually is. Now, when they buy these new debentures, they're able to contribute money from their account to the company's account, and the company is able to get a small amount of money in the form of its financial requirements. Like I said, this is only for a short term basis. So that's one of the reasons why the company decides to go about doing a rights issue. Now, you may ask yourself, where do these new shares actually come from? Does the company create new shares? No, not really. What the company does is the shares of the directors or the promoters, a part of their shareholding is liquidated and in turn given to the public. Now, let's say just about 2% or 3% of their shareholding is liquidated. That is still a very, very big number. So, by liquidating that, there'll be a huge number of shares available. That is something which is sold to the public, and they're able to get a little bit more money from that. So, that's what you have when it comes to rights issues. So, I hope you found this video helpful. Please visit my website, vipinmks.com. I regularly update articles related to education, careers. Of late, I'm writing articles related to mythology and quite a few other topics. So please go to my website as well and check out the content there. And of course, please subscribe to my videos. Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Bye.